Well, the next mayor of Boston has an opportunity to be a transformative figure with respect to improving the education system and outcomes for Boston students. And I think I'm just the type of executive leader that can do this job and get it done. First and foremost, it will begin with choosing a dynamic new school superintendent who sees the world differently. He or she doesn't view it as a top-down structure, pushing down ideas onto the schools, but rather pushing autonomy, decision-making, and innovation down to the school level where principals and teachers will be able to come up with really great ideas to improve the education of our kids. That's why I support lifting the charter cap. So many good charter schools here in the city of Boston, and so many parents who want their children in those schools. Those are schools where the decision-making is made at the school level. 70% of kids in charter schools in Boston are performing at a proficient level compared to just 15% in our traditional public schools. So I favor lifting the cap on charter schools. I also believe that we need to do more when it comes to teacher training, evaluation, and performance. I lead an office of young professionals as district attorney, so I know how inspired my young professionals are for more training. They want to get good at what they do, and I believe that teachers are exactly the same way. I also want to empower parents and get them more engaged in this process. It's so important. Parental involvement, improves so much the outcome of students. And I will talk about parental engagement and ask my superintendent to really work out ways to improve parental engagement. And finally, I believe the curriculum has to be adjusted to emphasize science, technology, engineering, and math. This is where the jobs are going to be in the 21st century knowledge economy of Boston. If you don't have that in your background, you're going to be ill-prepared to participate in that economy. And even if you don't go on to college and get a bachelor's degree in one of those subjects, if you have a background in those subjects, there's still good blue-collar, working-class jobs that you can get with that sort of background. So as a reformer, as an education reformer, and someone who believes that we can truly close the achievement gap in this city, and I am a firm believer in that. It's a social justice issue. I believe that the only way to get that done is through an appointed school committee. So I believe strongly in retaining it. When I was a member of the Boston City Council, I campaigned very aggressively to make final, if you will, the decision to have an appointed school committee. I'm a decision maker. As district attorney, I make decisions that affect people's lives every day. And I think with respect to education reform, it needs to rest in one person, the mayor of Boston. And it can't be put out to an elected school committee where decisions can be shifted off to a body that's not accountable to the mayor himself or herself. So it's very, very important to me that it be an appointed school committee. I'm old enough to know what things were like in the city when we had an elected school committee, and we all know what happened. So much dysfunction, so many poor outcomes for our kids, and generations lost. And I believe we can't go back there. We have to look forward.